Hi, guys.
Hello.
Speak slowly so that this weird accent doesn't throw you too much.
Oh, no, it's fine. We have Clark. Clark, talk for her. Listen to you talk about weird accents. Go ahead, Clark.
No, because now I just want to.
Sounds like the Beverly Hillbillies.
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Whatever.
I really do get super nervous when she's on the show. That's why she hasn't been on in so long. Vanessa Cater is here. Hey, Vanessa.
Hi, how you guys doing?
I'm sweating.
That's because she could break you.
Right.
She's gorgeous.
I know. I met her one time in person in real life, and it was so awkward. So awkward. She didn't make it. I made it awkward.
Wonderfully awkward.
It was.
She's taller than you?
Well, yeah, but everyone is. So that wasn't anything. It was just, I remember being nervous going there. I was in Chicago, and I didn't know anybody in Chicago at the time. And then I made this awkward joke about my puppy dying or something. It was a joke. That's the same reaction she had. She was like, oh. I'm like, no, I'm just joking. And it was a whole thing. But yeah, we're still friends. For those
That's all right. I can get down with that kind of humor.
Right. I know. At that time, though, I wasn't sure. I'm like, oh my gosh, did I offend her? I don't know what I. It was awkward, but we're still friends. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're doing well. You're working. For those who don't know, you're an actress. You're a stunt performer, and I don't know if I've ever asked you this. What's the craziest injury that you've ever had performing a stunt?
I have been so fortunate, knocking on wood right here, to have walked away from pretty much everything with no major injuries. I think I'm one of the lucky ones. I've had, sprained ankles and major hematomas over my body, but I kind of feel like that's kind of part and parcel. That's just kind of like, you expect those injuries we don't consider those injuries. That's just another day at work.
Right. Yeah.
Was there like a stunt that you've done like where you were kind of like, ooh, I'm a little nervous right now to do this?
Oh, it was last year was the first time I got hit by a car.
Oh my God.
I was running at the car as it was driving at me and hit me. And yeah, I went, that was for 911, the TV show. I was stunt doubling one of the actresses, and everyone went silent because I'm so long, and they say you've got to get really light on your feet when you get hit by a car, because otherwise the nose of the car is going to smash your knees and your shins and break your legs. So you've got to flip really fast. And I got so light that my head ricocheted, shattered the windshield with the back of my head, flipped up into the air, and instead of rolling back down the hood of the car, I went off the side because I got so airborne, and then just pile drive myself into concrete, and everyone just went silent.
Wow.
So silent. And they were like, cut. And I'm laying there not moving because until someone yells cut, it was quiet, because you're not meant to move until they yell cut. And so I didn't. And they're like, are you all right? And I was like, thumbs up, but I was just like,
yeah.
Okay. And the first thing that I said to the coordinator when she ran over to me, the amazing Shauna Duggins, she's been Jennifer Garner's stunt double for years, and she was someone who I was so excited to work for because she's such a female stunt icon and actress. She came running up, and I was just like, oh my God, I did it wrong. And she was like, what? You were meant to look like you almost died. You look like you almost died. I'm like, I felt like it too. So it was one of those things. I just thought, because I was meant to roll back down the hood, and I was like, I really don't want to do it again. I did it wrong. And they were like, no, that was good.
Yeah.
Like, thank God.
Do you practice that before you do it, or is it just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to one shot?
No, I'd never done it before, but you can't really practice. So literally, such a professional stunt performer. I was standing at the end of my bed practicing how fast I could flick my body over when the car would hit. There's no way to really prepare yourself for it. You just kind of got to do it. And,
How fast was the car traveling when it hit you?
15 to 17 miles an hour.
Okay. Thank you.
It was fast enough to send my 5'10", 170-pound body flying like it was a feather.
Wow.
So yeah.
Damn, now I'm thinking about school zones and how you can go 20 and then how far a little kid could fly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think that's meant to be how fast you can hit the brakes, not how fast you can hit the
okay. Yeah, Clark, you're getting it backwards here. Now, the first time I saw Vanessa was in a movie called The Do-Over on Netflix with it was David. It was in that moment that I knew that this is my future wife and we're going to have incredible children. And it was just love at first scene.
Yep, there's a lot happens in that scene.
And if I didn't love her enough already, she was in Star Trek Picard. Can you talk about that or no? Can you talk about anything you've done there?
I can talk. I can sort of talk about it, but I can't really say what I was doing or any. It hasn't. Those episodes haven't aired yet.
Okay,
so
I won't go into detail then. But for those who are wondering, she does play Picard's stunt double.
Completely. Shave the hair.
Right.
I just let go of all the tape that's holding my arms.
Right.
I can see it.
Yeah. You told me that you met Patrick Stewart.
I did.
And that you also cried.
I did.
What did he tell you? Can you talk about what he said?
Oh, yeah. Like I was basically on set and I've been doing a couple of days. I've played a few different things on that show as a stunt performer. So you get kind of, and with, shows like Star Wars. And so I worked on Obi-Wan doing like Stormtrooper stuff. And then I was bouncing back between Star Wars and Star Trek last year. So it was my geek year, fulfilling my 12-year-old in a sci-fi geek girl dream year last year. So this particular time was the first time I'd actually been on set with him. And I spoke to his actual stunt double, Tim Storm, who's just a beautiful human being. And I'm not normally someone to, I chat to everyone. I have no problem with it. But Patrick Stewart is an icon.
Yeah, a legend.
He's the number one on the show. He had all these lines to do. And I didn't want to miss my opportunity, but I also didn't want to be unprofessional. So I pulled Tim aside and said, I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but I would never forgive myself if I didn't ask if it was appropriate, okay to meet Patrick. And he was like, oh my God, of course. Dragged me and goes, Patrick, this is Vanessa. She's our stunt actor on today and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, it's so lovely to meet you. And shook my hand and I started speaking. He's like, where are you from? And I was like, I'm from New Zealand. He was like, wow, the last time I was in New Zealand was 1969, I think he said. And I did a set of 3 plays and Vivian Lee was the lead. And we had this conversation that just spanned how like his career and his travel and how he originally wasn't going to go back to do Picard, but they'd addressed all of these issues that he had that he couldn't not come back, and how his agent, it was the most amazing conversation I've experienced. And then he was the AD went to pull him back because he had to go back on set, and he kept on brushing them off. And I was like, Patrick, I love this so much. You're not going to get in trouble. I am. I'm never going to be asked back if you don't go and do your job. And he was like, oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm not getting in trouble. And he goes, he's hilarious. And he was so sweet. And then he came back and we had this whole other conversation. Tim was like, he wants to keep his conversation going with you. And I was just like, he's loving talking to you. And I was just, it was.
When did you cry? While he was talking to you or afterwards?
No, it was, it was when I left. I got wrapped for the day and I got changed and I was walking to my car and Tim was coming the other way. And I said to him, I can't thank you enough. I would have worked for free for today if I had have known that that's what was going to happen. And I started getting a little emotional, and then Tim got emotional because he said the very first time he met Patrick, it was the same thing for him, because the reason why Tim is an amazing actor as well. And he actually studied Shakespeare, Tim did. And it was because of Patrick that he had done that. And so we had this moment where him and I were both standing just kind of in tears. And it was beautiful. It was like, big, bad stunt people crying over this.
That's so awesome.
With this beautiful human being. He's, when they say never meet your idols, but he's one of those ones I would encourage, if you have the chance to do, because he's just, everything about him is what you want him to be.
I've met him one time, and I didn't really get a chance to talk to him because someone ate up all my time. So literally all I got to say to him was, hope you have a nice day. And then I rolled out, and that was it. But hopefully one day we'll get to have a conversation with him. It'll be fun.
Oh, I hope you do. It's yeah. I even called my dad, and he was angry at me but happy for me. He was angry I got to do it, not him. So yeah.
Did you get to meet Jerry Ryan at all?
I did not,
okay.
Unfortunately. She, the whole 7 of 9 character has definitely been one of those characters that I grew up watching. My thing about sci-fi, the reason why it's one of my favorite genres is, as a woman, sci-fi my entire life has been one of the only genres that has let women be smart, like savvy smart, as well as book intelligent,
right,
as well as sexy, as well as able to hold their own and be on the same level as the men in the kick-ass factor as well as the intelligence factor.
Right.
And that is one of my favorite things about sci-fi my whole life. And of course, the 7 of 9 character has been that. But one of my best friends is her stunt double. So I kind of live vicariously through Caitlin. So yeah.
I feel like you could play 7 of 9. I think that's in your future. I think
I would love that. I could just be like, her Borg sister.
Yeah. 7 of 8.
Others at some point. Yeah.
I guess that'd be 8 of 9, I guess. I don't know what it'd be. But hey, what do you think about Maximilian for one of our children's names?
Look, if we're talking sci-fi, there was a TV show called Dark Angel a million years ago with Jessica Alba, and her character's name was Max. I like Max for a girl. Max.
All right. Eric, will you write that down? Possible children's names for Michael and Vanessa.
Is he your secretary now?
Yeah, just for today, because I don't have a pen in front of me.
You better hope your kids get her bone density.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yours.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel between Michael and myself, we would have a normal sized child.
Yeah. And one that doesn't break very easily.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you going to watch Eric and I on Judge Steve Harvey on ABC?
Wait, what?
Yeah. I'm suing Eric for my leg break. You'll get to hear the whole story on Judge Steve Harvey on ABC.
Oh, I'm definitely watching that.
You have to. You have to. I actually want to shoot. So we made this character about based off of my injury called Iron Leg Man. So now I have this titanium in my leg from my scooter accident. I think I told you about that.
Yeah, it was a while ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we were supposed to go to LA, and then we had to cancel the whole trip.
Have coffee and catch up.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, the whole thing fell apart. So did my leg. And so we have this character we made called Iron Leg Man. So it's like Iron Man, but he deflects bullets just with the titanium in the leg.
You better be flexible then. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm not. And that's why I think that we should shoot a trailer for Iron Leg Man in LA. And it tells the origin story. It's like Iron Leg Man begins. And I get on the scooter, and then it cuts to Vanessa as the stunt me. And we'll just put like a brown wig on you. Your blonde hair still goes underneath the wig. Yeah, she just gets on the scooter, goes 5 miles an hour. And then the tragic accident happens. And then it cuts back to me laying on the ground.
That would be great.
I think that's a great idea. It's not SAG.
I'm totally down.
Perfect. So I know you and I have had this discussion over the years, Star Wars versus Star Trek. I know you've worked on both projects, but now after meeting Patrick Stewart, are you leaning more towards the Star Trek side than the Star Wars side?
I also got to meet and talk to Ewan McGregor on Obi-Wan. And that was a really great conversation about as well. So I'm like, nah. But look, Patrick Stewart is an icon, but I don't discriminate Star Wars to Star Trek. I can't.
But I've seen you wear more Star Wars shirts than you have Star Trek shirts. I've seen that.
That's what you
very, very good point.
Yeah.
It's a very good point.
I feel like if you're gonna give both their dues, you should have an equal amount of Star Trek outfits and Star Trek outfits.
Star Trek t-shirts are harder to come by.
Oh, I'll send you all the ones you want. I've got all sorts of them.
Ooh.
I'll send you everything. I don't know if I asked you this either. I know since COVID-19 started, you haven't been able to go back home to New Zealand. Did you go right before it started, or do you have plans to go back after? Like, this? You know anything about the travel restrictions yet?
Well, they're opening up again now, just finally in this last month through March, which is incredible. For people who are vaccinated and stuff like that. But previously, during 2020 when the major lockdown happened. I'd been there in December 2019 and I saw my family and all that sort of stuff. And I got a call to go and work on Falcon and the Winter Soldier as one of the flag smashers for Marvel. And, obviously I was like, and I'm out, bye, I'm going back to America. It's like, Marvel? Yep, that's me, I'm out. When we were in Prague shooting, we'd been there for 4 days when the lockdown happened. We all got evacuated and sent back home. We all thought it was going to be like a few weeks.
Yeah.
So we were shooting and got evacuated, got back, thought it was going to be a short period of time. And every sort of few weeks or whatever, we would get an email from the stunt coordinator and the production going, we'll be back in a couple of weeks, probably by the end of the month. Probably, it was just this this thing that we kept on hearing that we were going to be going back. And if I went back to New Zealand, I had to quarantine in a hotel for 2 weeks before I could even get into the country. And I just had this fear that I would be there and get a call that we're going back in like 3 days or something. And I'd be stuck in New Zealand in a hotel and I wouldn't be able to leave. So that major quarantine, period of time where everyone was locked down for months, I unfortunately didn't get to go home, but New Zealand was doing great. There were no cases, everyone was fine. So knowing that your family's fine and that they're living in a place where they're just living normal life, even if there's no tourism, which is what New Zealand's big for. But for the most part, they were great. So I was very lucky about that. And, and then I worked some amazing jobs that I would have probably stuck around in America for anyway. So now it worked out well. And now I'm actually just trying to get now that things have opened up, I'm trying to get my dad to come over here because as much as I love New Zealand, I can go back anytime. But for him, he needs to get out and travel. So I'm going to bring him over.
Especially being locked in for 2 years, at least in.
Yeah. And he's like me. He likes to travel everywhere. So I'm just like, over here, we're going to maybe try and go to like Cuba or somewhere because we've got New Zealand passports. So.
Right. Yeah. What about the name Terran? Terran, T-E-R-A-N. Or no, I'm sorry, it's T-E-R-E-N. I think it's.
That's a great name.
Eric, you write that down on the possible names. We'll remember this whenever.
Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't realize that was a Game of Thrones reference. But we'll stick it with a sci-fi theme. A fantasy. Now, I know that you're doing conventions now or starting to get ready to do conventions. So we need to get you here in Dallas to do a convention here.
I would love that. Yeah, I had a friend reached out on behalf of their agent, their convention agent, and was just like, do you want to join up with them? I was like, yes. I love conventions. It's just a bunch of really cool people like me who are complete geeks, having fun and enjoying the world that they like surrounding themselves in. It's really fun. So hopefully I get booked for some. So we'll see what happens with that.
I'm excited. We'll try to do everything we can to get you here because we'll show you around.
Get you in studio.
I would love that.
Get you in studio.
I've never been. I'm so sad.
Oh no! Well, you're gonna have to come. We're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah.
So Eric, would you write that on the list too? Just figure out a way to get her here to Dallas.
Hijack Vanessa.
Hijack Vanessa. Yeah, exactly. You're in Georgia right now, right?
I am. Yeah. We're filming we're in prep right now for it's a additional photography for a show that was actually mainly filmed, spy sort of show that was mainly filmed throughout Europe, and they need a whole lot more action, so they brought it this way, and I get to I know that I'm getting my ass handed to me because I'm playing Russian.
Yeah.
So you're probably gonna die.
What new projects are you working on now that you can talk about, or that are coming out soon anyway, that we can see you in?
Well, you won't. I mean, you can take a guess.
I pause it. I pause the action. I'm like, oh, that's Vanessa right there.
Yeah, but you were also in Doom Patrol, which I love, but I had no idea it was you. No clue it was you.
She had a mask on?
Yeah, the Darling Come Home was so much fun. But it was just like I had these crazy long fingers and I couldn't eat or use the bathroom. And there are some long days just trying to wait to do one scene and you're just like, cool. And I'm in like these spanked, like big puffy things and I'm like walking around with like I can't open doors. It's like trying to I actually got used to using the tip of my nose for my phone.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Prosthetics, so I couldn't tap on anything because they were like, it was definitely fun. I definitely love that show. And they're doing another season right now. And I keep on going, does anyone want to write? No. Do you want to write me back in? No.
Well, if you don't follow Vanessa on Instagram, you have to. And I don't say, I said this last time, I'm not just joshing. She never fails to put me in a good mood whenever I'm like, sometimes the algorithm miss up and I don't see her post for a while. And then she pops back up and it's always positive and she's always happy. Even if she's not happy, she's happy. And she's always doing super cool things. And it's just great. So it's your Instagram, just your name, right?
Yeah, just Vanessa Cater. Yeah.
Perfect. So everyone follow her.
I appreciate that.
And thank you so much for wasting your valuable time with us morons today.
I'm like one of you.
Yeah,
so.
you are. I do feel every time I talk to her, like we're on Instagram or whatever talking, it's always about nerd stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? We're always like, we're on the same plane here. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And Eric will fax you this list of names we came up with today for our children. So he'll fax it to you. Yeah.
That's so, yep. That's about as technology savvy as I am right now.
Perfect. Vanessa, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys.